Hey guys, welcome to this video. My name is John Watts. I'm a consumer protection lawyer. What I want to talk to you about today is why you must understand the rules of the game if you're dealing with any type of legal issue. So maybe you're dealing with a debt collector or credit reporting or personal injury or dealing with back taxes to the IRS, whatever it may be, any type of legal issue, you must understand the rules. Now, what I mean by that is either you must personally understand them or you need a lawyer who understands them and has the ability to communicate that to you. So let me give you an example. I've used this in other videos. Say you're playing sports. Well, you need to know what the rules are. Are you playing football? Are you playing soccer? Are you playing, even in football, NFL, college football? You playing basketball, hockey? What are you doing? Because they all have different rules. And what may be perfectly allowable in one sport is a terrible mistake or foul in another sport. So think about mixed martial arts, so UFC. Well, in that, you can punch, you can kick, you can wrestle, you can grapple, you can use jiu-jitsu. Well, what if you do that in the middle of a boxing match? Well, you're going to get disqualified. If you kick the guy in the head, okay, that may be, the crowd goes crazy in the UFC. That's wonderful. In boxing, you may be banned from boxing for life. So you have to understand the rules. So you're sued by a debt collector. Well, what are the rules? From the time you're served, and what does it mean to be served, until your time runs out or else there's a default judgment. You got to know the rules. Well, how do you answer that lawsuit? Got to know the rules. What about with credit reporting? What are the rules for disputing false information? What are the rules about inquiries? That's where somebody pulls your credit. What are the rules? Okay. What about in personal injury? Let's say that you've been injured and the person that injured you, say it's a car wreck, it's kind of the most typical example, that they run the red light, they crash into you, and they have no insurance. Can you get compensation? Sure, because you'll have uninsured motorist benefits. Well, what are the rules about that? Do you only get the one policy with one car? Or can you stack on top multiple policies or multiple cars within a policy? Makes a huge difference. Might be the difference between having $100,000 in benefits and having $300,000 in benefits. You got to know the rules. What are the rules as far as the time limits to file a personal injury suit, to sue a debt collector, to sue a credit bureau? Those are all different rules. Okay. How about dealing with the IRS? Say, look, I've heard of people that pay, pennies on the dollar. They owe $100,000 in back taxes and they pay $10,000 and all their back taxes are gone. So that's what I want to do. We've got to know the rules. Okay. Just to give you an example, one rule is you have to be in compliance in order to do what's called an offer in compromise or even an installment agreement with the IRS. Somebody says, well, I don't think that that's fair, or I didn't know those were the rules. Well, those are the rules. You have to know the rules. So my point is, basically when you're dealing with a legal issue, you either spend time learning it on your own, and you've got to make sure that you actually know what you're doing, or you spend money to hire somebody to help you with this. Now, if it's a tax issue, that can be a lawyer, a CPA, or an enrolled agent. If it's a legal issue, you need to get with a lawyer on this, okay? A lawyer who's licensed in your state or wherever the lawsuit's going to be filed. You want them to be licensed there. So again, my point is you've got to know the rules, because if you know the rules, then you have a greater chance of winning. And sometimes people are sort of dismissive of the rules. I remember in law school, which was a long time ago, but I remember in law school, we had a class on the rules of civil procedure. And people are like, I don't want this. I want this exciting stuff about, tort law. That's, negligence and trespass and things like that. Or I want to know about contracts and I want to know about this and that. I don't want this boring rule stuff. And so I remember I had a professor that I liked, and I took an advanced class on rules, basically the rules of civil procedure. And this guy, he spent his life in federal court, and he said, if you will learn these rules better than your opponent, it gives you an unfair advantage. And that's absolutely true. So again, go back to a sports analogy. If you know, for example, when the clock stops in football, or when you need to burn a timeout, that's a tremendous advantage. You don't want to call a timeout to stop the clock if it was going to stop anyway. Well, you might think about in mixed martial arts, UFC, if you have either a knee or a hand on the ground, that may prevent your opponent from kneeing you in the head, okay? Well, know those rules. So the more we know the rules, the greater advantage we have over our adversary. Because we may understand, oh, I can do this or I can do that, and they don't see it coming. So understand the rules, both the procedural rules if you're in court, but also obviously the substantive law. What's the law on contributory negligence or comparative negligence? Or what do I have to do to be able to sue a credit bureau? Whatever the situation is, you must understand the rules. Either you go do that or you hire somebody who does understand those rules for you. So just want to encourage you, embrace the rules. Sometimes people go, I don't want to know all these rules. I just want to have my day in court. Well, you're not going to have your day in court if you don't understand the rules. And your day in court will be very unpleasant if you don't understand the rules, because you'll be outmaneuvered by your adversary. So understand the rules so that you give yourself the best possible chance of success. Okay, guys, thanks for watching this video, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye-bye.